Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are. Good, all of that. You feel what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning in to the Ties for the Fly Guy channel. I am your host. Who am I? The guy with the fly ties. You guessed it. All right. This is what we're gonna do. We on episode 7, man. Who thought we'd do 7 episodes? First of all, get yourself a button-down shirt. If you do not have one, that's fine. Go get one. I'll wait. All right, you ready? Dig that. Pop your collar up. Real fly like. Nobody's watching, you understand? Now these right here, I'm gonna save these. Those will be good for when I want to keep my collar very, very stiff. Don't play no games with it. So we're gonna get a regular button down. Of course, you're going to need yourself a tie. I'm always gonna have a fly one, especially when it ain't no work day. Look at the pink, light pink, and charcoal black. You would say charcoal gray, but no. Charcoal black. I hope y'all can see that like that. Anyway, I'm going to wear a sweater over this tie. So this is going to be what we call the Hypnotize knot. You guessed it. The Hypnotize. Why? We'll see in a second. You can even get hypnotized when you're making it, when you're tying it up. If somebody watches you do this, they're going to be like, oh, I'm getting dizzy. But check game. We got the fat end of the tie. I always call it that. Just like I always call this end the skinny end. And this is usually the end that I do the most work with. So what I'm going to do is lace it around my neck to where it lays flat. Now I usually have the flat end right at my belly button, between my navel and my belt buckle. Not going to do that this time. We're going to raise it up a little bit, I'm going to put it over my belly button, over my navel. So you see how it's only right here now? It's usually like this. Now I got right here. Why? Because I want more work room right here. So anytime you want to do something extremely intricate, you can use more work room. However, remember, this becomes shorter. But the sweater is going to take this out of the game. You won't even see this part down here. The sweater is going to have you only seeing the Hypnotize jump off, All right. Before we get started, make sure you hit subscribe, man. Make sure you hit the notify button, the like, share it with friends. Somebody's going to want to learn how to do this one for sure. Now check game and watch me how I do it. We're going to make a dimple like we always do, even though we're working with less tie on this side. Above the navel is where I am, just because it's a sweater tie. Now I can do this where I normally do it, but it won't be as hypnotizing. Check game on what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to put my finger right in the middle of this, right around my neckline. One finger, and then I'm going to grab the outsides and pinch them together. That's going to make a dimple. You see that dimple right there? I know I whistle like that every time, but this is the whistle while you work type of deal. All right, so I got my dimple, you dig? And then look how short that is if I step back. It's short. If I didn't have a sweater on, it'd be too short. But it's going to be groovy. Now watch. I am going to take my work in and just go around the dimple and through the neck. No fold in, no nothing. Not yet. Just bring it up through the neck. See what I did? I'm asking y'all. Check it out. That's all I did. But you see my dimple is still fire and ice. Understand? So what do we do now, Mr. Fly Guy with the fly ties? Well, what I'm going to do, man, is I'm going to fold this in half, just the work end. How do you fold it? See that side? That's the seam side where they sew it together. This is the smooth side that they want to be seen if necessary. So we're going to fold this smooth side out to where you can see it. So this side will be folded in, that side with the little seam in there. Fold that in. Just start at the top. Look how I'm doing it. I'm starting right at the top and just folding it to where that end is in there like that. Why am I folding it? Because I'm going to go around the back of my tie and back around the front. So let me show you what I got. Let me get closer. Boom. Smooth side, right? Extra smooth, right? Around the back of the tie, right? Still folded, right? And I'm going to make a knot. I'm going to go right through that loop. All I did was go around the back of the tie, you dig? Don't worry about this part. We'll be able to smooth that out, even if it gets messed up. We're going to go around the back of the tie and through the loop. Same loop we got. Dig how I do it. Straight through there. Straight through that loop. You see it? Now you've actually looped your tie right there. Feel that. Look how I got myself, just to show y'all. Look how I got myself. But you're going to feel it. Watch. Keep going. Now I'm going to pull this as tight as possible. Remember, I want a lot of work room, so I'm going to pull this mug as tight as possible. Before I do that, check game on what I'm looking like. All right, I just did a loop around the tie. I'm going to pull this a little bit, just so you know ain't nothing wrong with it. You'll see my dimple is still in there. And I'm going to pull this super duper tight. All I'm doing is pulling it. Nothing fancy. Now, I'm even pulling this part just so it gets super tight. You feel me? Boom. I went around the back of the tie once I folded the smooth side out. Remember? Smooth side. Not that side. Your smooth side. I went around the back of the tie and then went through the hole, right? You with me then? Well, say something, man. So look what I got now. I got a super tight knot right here with this coming out of the end of it. It's in there, it's secure. You see that, right? It's in there. You can see it? All right, it's in there. This side is wrapped up very tight as well. Can y'all see that? Well, let me know, All right, don't raise your hand, don't ask no questions right now because this is where it gets hypnotizing. We're gonna go around and around and around and around and around and around as many times as our work in allows us. How are we gonna go around? Check game. I'm gonna take this folded end and it looks like I'm gonna go this way, right? I'm not. I'm gonna go over the top of that little knot we made, making sure this stays folded and smooth. So you see it? You see it's still smooth, right? I'm gonna go around the back. And I'm gonna hold it just so you can see it. Can you see it from right there? I'm just around the back. But look what I've done. Just came around the back, over the top and around the back of the tie. This time, and I'm gonna look in the mirror instead of looking at you beautiful people. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, you should be all like, ooh, I think I know what he's about to do. You're right, you do what I'm about to do. I'm about to hypnotize you. Now check game. We're gonna go around the top again, around that top layer. Now we got two. You see them forming? You see them forming, right? Now, with the stripes on the tie, this is gonna become extremely hypnotizing. So get yourself a stripey tie, you understand? Now I'm going around the back again, but I'm pulling it tight. Look, 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 look. And I'm just holding it together. And I'm gonna come over and do another layer over the top. Do it look confusing? No, I'm going around the back and over the layer. Around the back, over the layer. Around the back and over the layer. Guess what I'm gonna do next? You guessed it. Around the back and over the layer. Keeping this folded all the way. Now look how many layers that we've done so far. We're getting hypnotized already. Don't worry about the dimple, how it's facing to the side. Watch this. Don't worry about that. We're gonna fix that. We'll have everything fly. Remember, I'm the guy with the fly ties. So I'm pulling it tight so, we still got some leverage and some on it. And I'm going around the back again, keeping it folded with the smooth side facing you guys. And I'm coming over the top again, pulling it just a little tighter. Whew. Whew. Now you want to make sure you stay close to your neck every time you go so it won't come out further and further. You'll look at it and start coming out further and further, but you actually want it to sit kind of flat. Dig that. So my very last time, since it looks like I don't have that much work room left, you know what this I'm going to do? I'm going to show you what happened if you lose your work room. Grab it and pull it a little tighter. Because you got to remember, you ain't did nothing but go around and around. So just unloosen that last round, or loosen up that last round, and then go one more time. Loosen it, and then pull it tight when you go the next time. That'll give you a little more room. I'm just going around the back, remember? Over the front. Over the top. Keeping the smooth side facing who? Facing the people that's looking at it. And then it looks like now I got that room over here to go under one more time. And where we're going to tuck? Over there. Yes, we are. But watch it, man. You think I'm lying? Just watch it. Over, under the back again. And now this is much room. How much room I got? Do I need more than that? Absolutely not. That's enough for me to tuck right under my demo. Right under the part that goes around your neck. Look at that. Look at that. I'm holding it out there. So as long as we have this flat and we straighten our dimple out, what do we do now? Put the collar down and see how fly we are. Because you were with me on this one. Hopefully you grabbed your tie, man. Hopefully you grabbed it. Oh my. Now I know this is the hypnotizing knot, but this one should make you say, oh my. Now I'm going to tell you one thing. If you don't subscribe, if I do this, it makes you less hypnotized. But if I just hold it still and you follow what I did, man, let me press this up a little bit so I can freshen myself up. You know, let me move that collar a little bit and make sure it's crispy at the top. Because why am I going to have a tie that's hypnotizing, so fresh? And then all I'm doing is pressing it because remember, you know what we did. We went round and around and around and around to hypnotize our people and to hypnotize you and I as we look. I'm getting hypnotized as I speak. One thing's for sure, I've got some errands to run, but I'm going to pop my sweater on after I spray on some Smell Good and put my shades on. And I'm going to hit the street for a second and see if anyone says, oh, wow, how'd you do that? And I'm going to tell them to do exactly what I tell you to do. Subscribe. Like the channel. Thank you for coming in to Ties for the Fly Guy. And once again, I am your host. You guessed it. The guy with the fly ties. Introducing to you the Hypnotize knot. As we say, where I'm from, don't play with that. Boy, don't play with that. Peace, y'all. Before I say peace, let me make sure I profile for you. Hold on. So you can see what you did. Hopefully you did it just like this. All right, peace, y'all.